Being after 6 o'clock, call the Town of Sterling Zoning Board of Appeals meeting to order with a roll call vote, please.
Everett Pierce, present.
Diana Baldarelli, present.
Joe Curtin, present.
Gail Bergeron, present.
All right, thank you. This evening on the agenda, the first order of business is a variance from the First Church. Has petitioned the Zoning Board of Appeals on behalf of Village Green Preschool seeking a variance for relief from the yard setback requirements, section 2.51 of protective bylaws, for the purposes of enlarging a existing non-conforming storage shed at a property located at 6 Meeting House Hill Road, Sterling, parcel ID 93-62. The property is located in neighborhood residential zoning district and partially within the groundwater protection district. Would the applicant or its representative please come forward, or you can stay there, Steve, if you want, and speak from there. Just for the record, just name and...
Sure. Would you like me to present up there?
Sure.
I'll hold the chair.
Yeah, that's fine.
That way I can point
Yep.
the drawings if need
Perfect.
be. Do you all have a copy of the finding that I can refer to? I'm Steve Damiano. I'm on the building committee at First Church, and I'm here on behalf of Village Green and Karen Orsby to request the variance. I'd like to review, if it pleases the board, to discuss and show you the existing conditions out there and then relate that to the request for the variance, and then discuss overall the purpose and need of the shed modification that we're proposing. Does that sound?
That's fine.
Perfect.
Informative? By the way, I did bring the complete copy because I made a copy and then sketched on this drawing existing conditions such as the shed and did it in the context of the property boundaries. And if there's a need to see the larger context, this is the full plot plan, of which I made a copy and then presented those sketches. Again, in terms of existing conditions, I did present some photos. I don't know if you have those in front of you. It might be good to start with those, and then I'll go through some of the dimensions. But this is the existing shed, and there's a deck in front of it, and that's where, well, the general procedure at the school during operations is to bring the kids out to the playground, and then the teachers come in and go into the shed and pull out some tricycles for the kids to play in, and then there's the rest of the yard in which they also play. But the shed is there to store the bikes, and they go into it every day. And you can see that the door is kind of small, notwithstanding it's been there for at least 27 years. And it needs some upkeep and revisions, and that's sort of why we started this process. Karen and I started to evaluate what could we do with the existing shed to make it safer, because the teachers are going in and out of this small structure and getting the bikes, and the kids play on and use the cycles on the deck. And the reason I bring that existing condition up, this is another view of it, is that it's not all that much of a space in order to play, but these are young kids or very small kids, and it seems adequate for that. But if we were, once we started to embark on the modifications, we realized that if we were to try to meet the 10-foot setback requirements, it would basically take up about almost half of that existing space on the deck. So that's when we realized that we really want to try to zero in on a variance request. what other points do I want to make? The boundaries of the property, this is showing a blow up of this area. So you can see the existing shed outlined here, and there was, let's see, the photo should show where the previous sandbox is next to the shed. So this photo shows that. So what we've done in the meantime is
Steve, just go a little that way, so there.
We've relocated the sandbox in anticipation of using this space next to the shed. Again, just going back to property boundaries, you can it may look as if when you look at the photo and the plan, the property boundary actually is not this part of the stone wall. That sort of delineates a very steep slope that goes behind the shed. So it's not really a usable area, and in fact there's bedrock in there.
Is that the property line?
And that's the point I wanted to make, that this part of the drawing where it shows the stone wall is not the property line. It actually starts at this corner.
Okay.
And the existing setback is approximately, again, this is showing a stone wall. Property boundary is a little bit set back from that. So generally, right now, there's 2 to 3 feet from the edge of the existing shed on this side of the boundary, and then the back boundary is about the same.
Okay.
So we are not requesting to encroach any further on that setback, but we are requesting that we stay basically within that same footprint. And we are conveying, as I did in the application, that we again looked at the alternative, which I show on here, of setting it back 10 feet, but it would literally have the amount of space in the deck, and so that's what we're claiming is one of our hardships in trying to relocate to avoid a variance.
If I'm not mistaken, it's only a sliver of land that is between the stone wall and the driveway that goes up the hill. Is that correct?
Well, it's about, if you're talking about the driveway that goes to the residence behind, you can see it in this photo. It's
So-
probably
So it isn't as if
40 or 50 feet.
It isn't as if you could build something here, is what
No,
I'm
you
getting
could
at.
not.
Yeah.
One of the things I talked to Steve prior to the hearing was, because this is a variance, it's not, if it was residential, it would be a special permit. This is a variance, so in order to get this, assuming it, the board would vote favorably on it, to have before we vote, take this property, the survey or the site plan that exists, and show the existing shed on there, so some just lines to the property line, so that, like he's talking, if they're gonna expand towards the church, they're not really increasing the nonconformity. We're not going from, if it's, just say it's 5 feet off the property line, they're not going to 2 feet, they're just gonna expand, but we just need, because this is a variance and gets filed and will be a record for the last May.
It goes to the registry.
Yeah, so we just, and they're amenable to that, so I told them we'll have a hearing and then, but we'll just, and they have the site plan, so it's not a big effort to do that, it's just to be able to see it so that we know, and then everybody's on the same page, so just so you know.
Yeah, what we would do is we would go back to this survey firm and ask them to put those dimensions
Just put that,
on it.
that's
So
all.
it is a
Record.
more formal plot plan showing the shed.
So the square feet, existing shed, square feet, what are you going to? From what?
The existing is 6 feet 8 inches long and 6 feet 3 inches wide. That is the front of it.
Okay.
So that's the
So
front
less than 40
dimension,
square feet.
and we're proposing a maximum increase in footage, square footage of 10 by 12. So we would essentially not quite double the front dimension and double the back dimension.
Do you have to remove any of that deck in order to bring it forward 4 feet?
Let's see, yes, approximately 2 feet. So we're already going to lose 2 feet in proposing to a slight expansion. This drawing shows what we'd like to do, and it would maintain sort of the existing character, is to basically make it a salt box type structure so that we could increase the height and get a regular sized door in.
Swing it towards Gail now.
Just
Sorry,
so Gail can
towards
see
her.
it.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is the front view showing the kind of salt box type arrangement and a new door.
The only thing you have stored in there is toys, is that correct?
It's bicycles and what else?
Yeah.
There's a,
Traffic
Karen
cones,
brought a
everything
photo.
we need for the playground.
Okay.
What did I do with the photo with Karen?
Oh.
This is kind of the inside of it. You can pass these around if you want.
So you're keeping the old shed there and just modifying
We'd
it?
like to, yeah.
Yeah.
If we went with a new one, it would be because it's, a little bit easier in the sense of reconstructing it, but I've been saying to Karen, if we have to take the whole thing down, that's a lot of work, and we would have to do that with a new one. So that's why we're still kind of discussing what we end up doing. Like, we had to take the roof off anyway, so I'm thinking that might be not only economical, but it would also kind of maintain the existing character.
Good project for the kids. Little carpentry.
Yeah. I'll leave that.
You
feel
might
like
not
I'm
be
gonna-
pleased with the outcome.
Preschoolers are a little harder. Have you spoken with the contractor as far as, doing this type of work? I almost think that they'd say knock it down and put a new one in.
Yeah, that's why we haven't. No, Karen realistically has looked into some of these prefab type, what's one of them? Something Ferry?
Reed's Ferry.
Reed's Ferry is an example.
Tough Shed.
There are others, Tough Shed's another one. But again, like I was saying, they would want to tear it all down, and then you'd have to, put it in a dumpster and haul it all away. And, it would be easier on us because it would just all go to a contractor, but it would elevate the cost considerably. So that's why we're still kind of debating that a little bit. We thought it important to go for the variance first.
So, any questions from the board on it? So I think for me, the only issue that I don't have any issue with it at all. I just want to see the plan with the existing setbacks, and then just whatever dashed line for the proposed, whatever you're going to put, just go bigger than,
Just formalize this.
correct, onto the plan,
Onto
yes,
the-
and show the existing, and then show what you want to put, go bigger than smaller. And then, you can always make it less, but you can't make it bigger. So
Yeah.
put it on whatever you're gonna, if it's gonna be 10 by 12 or 12 by whatever, put it on there. I would say try not to increase the nonconformity, like if the setback is 5, keep it at 5 going across on the, you know what I'm saying, on the side, so
So
you're
we
not.
can, we can put a note saying that. We can say maintain existing
Yeah.
setback.
Yeah, but I think once we see it, that'll be
Something
fine, and then once you draw it on there, we'll know, so that when we vote, right? So I don't have any, anybody else have any questions, and there's no public here, so I guess I will ask if it's okay to continue, if the applicant's all right with continuing the hearing,
Sure.
and come back at the next meeting with the, just with the revised plan, and then we can vote. Is everybody going to be here next month?
Should be.
Yes, yeah.
You know. That's all right. All right. Yeah, so thank you.
Yeah, it is summer, isn't it?
Not quite yet. Today was, but not, that was the first day, so. Karen, you must have some parent that's a contractor who goes to the school.
I know, right?
You know, you gotta start looking now, go through those class records.
We did, to answer your question more directly, we did talk to a contractor that's, what was it, CDL certified,
Okay.
as Tony requested, so we have talked to him, and we plan on having him be a part of the construction, whether we get a subcontractor or not, he will be the certified supervisor on it.
Good. All right, well, thank you. And we'll come back to the next one, and we should be full
Well, thank you for hearing that.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll try to get back on the plan so you can review it before the next.
Yeah, that's fine, to get it to Patty at a time. Yes, we'll have to make a motion to continue the hearing for the First Church village variance at the applicant's request to June 11th, 6 o'clock. We'll give you the first time slot, see that? All right,
Okay.
I'll entertain a motion, so moved. Second. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Thank you.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
When do you need,
Good rest of your evening.
I usually give this something we have, so, but whatever you want, I will be here that week.
Get all that down. All right. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good evening.
All right, perfect. After 6:15, the next order of business is review the minutes from the, seems like forever, but the February 13th, 2024 meeting. How could we be so lucky, Patty? Huh? Any edits, deletions, additions to the minutes from the February 13th meeting?
You know, I had noticed something when I read it earlier, now I can't remember. Hang on a second.
You get 10 seconds.
You want to just shoot me an email and I'll,
Yeah, it was one like word. It was supposed to be yes and no, or it was, I can shoot you an email.
I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes as possibly amended. Better look out for a second.
Apologize in person for not being here.
If you would come a minute later, we would have been all right, because we're almost done. So, no apology necessary.
I can't approve that because I wasn't here, so
Okay.
should I switch with Joe
No,
at this
Joe.
point in time?
Yeah, we're just looking over the minutes of the February 13th meeting, if there's any edits, deletions. I don't know if he wasn't here for those, I don't think, either.
Oh,
so
no.
majority's fine.
Huh? Yeah, we'll just do it as a majority.
I can't find it.
Make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Right.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Can
So
I just,
Okay.
on our agenda for next time, I would love to, for us to talk about our communication to the planning board when we have decisions, just to see if there's some better clarity of changes to what we approve, communication back and forth, because there's been just a couple decisions that the board has made that seems a lot different when the planning board gets in, they change it, and whether or not that would influence what we would have considered a yes on those.
You should talk to Pat.
So yeah, when Pat, well, yeah,
Okay.
I'll put it in whatever.
I didn't know how to do it, to be honest, but I want to make sure it's public.
Yeah, but I'll mention it to him or whatever when he gets back.
Okay.
All right. So I'll go back.
That's all.
Motion to adjourn. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. So
Hurry.
moved.
So
So
moved.
Second.
Second. All those, and no discussion, all those in favor? Aye.